FoodTruckr School is now in session. This is episode 19. Let's do this. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Pat Flynn, your host over at FoodTruckr.com. Happy to be here to help you take your food truck business to the next level. Whether you're just starting out or you're a pro, this is the show for you. Today we're talking with Gina from Rochford, South Dakota, a food trucker who owns a truck called Get the Scoop, naturally fresh gourmet ice cream and fun food. And this is a great show because she talks about a lot of what you need to know if you're going to get into this business. And if you are in this business already, I'm sure you could relate to what Gina's about to talk about. She talks about a lot of the struggles and day-to-day life of becoming a food truck owner, things that you need to think about to give yourself the maximum chance to succeed in this business. So without further delay, Gina, welcome to FoodTruckr School. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Well, thank you, Pat. Appreciate being here.
Absolutely. So we have a lot of people who are just starting out in the food truck industry who listen to the show or who are just getting excited and really want to get started. We know that you've gone through a lot and are going through a lot and have a ton of amazing information to share. If I wanted to start a food truck, if we were to sit down face to face and I was like, Gina, I want to start a food truck, what would be your advice to me?
My first advice for someone to do something like that would be come up with a business plan. And everybody always cringes on that statement. Mm-hmm. Some people don't understand it. They haven't went to business school. But a business plan is not only for financing, but it's also for personal goals. So if you don't even need the financing, write the business plan for those personal goals and try and stick with them for your weekly, your monthly adventures, so you can really get a grasp on where you want to go and what you want to do. I can't stress how important that part really is. Mm-hmm. And there are, in almost every city, any small town, any big town, they usually have like a small business development center. And they will help you for free to write up a business plan and do all your projection sheets and things like that. So it's not something to be feared.
Yeah, I know a lot of people hear that and they're like, oh, I have to do the work, but you're starting a truck, you have to do some work and go through these things if you want to be able to provide for the people in your city.
Yes, also do your research, find out what your clients really want. Like for me, I'm from beef country. People love steak here, but you go everywhere and there's burgers and steaks and everyone has the same thing. Find out what is upcoming, what's trending, what do people really want. Find out who your clientele is going to be and go from there, because you might have a fabulous idea that won't work for your area.
Can you tell us about your truck? What kind of niche does your truck serve and kind of how it all got started?
How it got started. It started with just a little thought of I went to visit my mother, and she needed ice cream, and there was no ice cream where she was at. They pulled out like the local Dairy Queen, and she's in an older community, so they were up in arms with the mayor. And I started researching ice cream, and I decided to go with a liquid nitrogen ice cream, something that's fresh, gourmet. I can get the ingredients just about anywhere, and it's something that's playful and a healthier product. It's not made with a mix. I make it all from scratch. And it's been wonderful. People love it. They're so excited to have it. I also serve bread cones, which is just, it's a cone-shaped bread, and you put anything that you would put a sandwich in there, like barbecue or fruit, whatever. At this point, I'm doing a cherry cobbler.
Wow, so that's awesome. That's a really cool idea.
It's really tasty, and we just love playing with the ice creams. We're working on some other stuff. We call it lab work, where we're just eating ice cream. We make a key lime, we make whatever's fresh that we can get. Raspberries were in season here, so that went over really well. And
that's cool.
Working on some stuff for the fall, but it's a big secret. It's not out yet. So
well, I won't keep asking you about that. We'll have to keep track on your Facebook page, and all the links to your truck and everywhere that'll be on the website for everybody to check out. Absolutely. In terms of getting started, when you first started your food truck, you had this idea, you started. What were some of the challenges that you had if you could go back into time and be like, Gina, make sure you look out for these things when you're first starting? What would they be?
My best advice to people is just, it's every step of the way, Pat. Mm-hmm. Every single step, it's trouble. You're going to hit brick walls. You're going to have to jump through hoops. And you're going to have to, like I mentioned to Nicole, cry a river, build a bridge, and get over it.
Yeah.
You're going to have the cost of your startup. You think you have everything on your list that you need. You don't. You need to also triple your capital. Whatever you think you need for capital, you triple it. The financing from the bank takes about 3 times as long. You think all your ducks are in a row. They're not. You think you went over everything. You haven't. Mm-hmm. Again, with the business plan, that's extremely important. And, it takes a lot of patience. You really have to go through and find out where you're going to get your product from. Start from the very bottom of everything. Like, where are you going to get your onions from? Where are you going to get everything, your salt, Don't be misled that your distributor can get it. Try and get as local as you can. People really appreciate that. Mm-hmm. Get your ducks in a row as far as your books. You need to not only make a good lasagna or whatever, you need to also know how to run a business. Yeah. Get help wherever you can. At this point, I cannot afford to pay people as far as like having lots of employees. So I have a couple of friends that help me out, and without it, it just couldn't have happened. So see if you can't get a group of friends to help you and believe in you,
Yeah, that's great advice. Now, obviously, you could do as much planning as you want. You can try to get all your ducks in a row, get a business plan, and start off on what you think is the right foot. And like you said, there's things that are going to happen. Things are always going to go wrong. It just seems like, that a lot of people at that point would want to give up. How do you stop from giving up? What keeps you going?
Well, what keeps me going is the dream, that I really know it can be successful. And also, it's a big part of the inner me. The inner me has been wanting and yearning for a food truck. I believe in it. I have the ability to be flexible, and that's a very important factor. Be flexible with your menu. If you have a dream with something and it ends up not working, be able to have something to fall back on to do in your food truck. Like, if you're going to do tacos and now there's 10 taco stands out there, what are you going to do? Was tacos just your dream, or can you do something else? You need to be very flexible with your menu and your idea to make your business work.
Mm-hmm. Do you get joy in knowing that it is your business, though? Like, you get to make the decisions and your success is completely, pretty much up to you?
Oh, absolutely. It's complete enjoyment, because you aren't really inside that corporate world behind a desk with a suit and tie. And one thing that people are, they get misconceptions about that, it's a food truck, how glamorous or great, I can get to work my own hours. That is not true. You're always working every single minute of the day, whether you're doing books or you're trying to line up future gigs or you're dealing with some kind of problem like I have been today for the last 8 hours. You have to know that this business, it's 24/7. You have to enjoy people, which I do. I get very much satisfaction from happy customers. I live for it.
That's great. I mean, I think that's what fuels a lot of food truck owners. Every food truck owner who I've spoken to, they talk about the struggles. They talk about how much time it takes to do it. But when they see that happy customer biting into that meal or, whatever, it's just so much joy, and it makes it all worth it. That's
it's the big payoff. It's just like healing someone.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
If you have the right food, you're selling smiles, and that's priceless.
And that's the coolest part, I think, about what it is to be a food truck owner. We could all work as hard as we want behind a desk at a 9-to-5 position somewhere in corporate world, but you don't get to see the end product all the time. You don't get to see the end product in the customer's hands and the smiles that they have, or them using it or eating it or whatever the case may be. And that's what I think drives most food truckers. And I can completely hear that in your voice, Gina. But you had mentioned something there was something you were working on for 8 hours today. Can you, I would love to know what a typical day is like. And I know every day is different, but can you talk about your typical day, and then also give us some insight on sort of what's going on right now, just to help us all see that this stuff happens and sort of what's going on?
Well, a typical day is, first off, you you get up and you check your emails and your messages, and then you get going on your product. What are you going to do for the day? What do you need? Who has to go to the store? What supplies you need to get? What supplies you need to get for your next gig?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's go to work, deal with the problems there. If you're running out of products, you have to go to the store again. And then, you close up shop, you get back, you check more messages, and then you do the same thing that you did in the morning. And hopefully you get to kiss your mate goodnight. The problem that I'm having now was I'm doing a state fair, and I have to deal with only one person that can make my product. And I've cornered myself with just that one person that I can get this product from. And that's another problem that people need to look out for. I had one product that was promised to be in my hands next Monday, and they just told me that they can't do it. So I've had to find someone who can drive 800 miles to go pick up my product.
Oh, wow.
And it's taken me all day to work things out, going either from getting a U-Haul to get my product to hiring a truck driver to get my product, to send my brother-in-law to get my product, or whatever. I finally got it worked out.
Oh, good.
But it's taken all day. And these are things that need to be penciled in. When a problem arises, normally it cannot be resolved within an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad, but that's the reality of it.
And I think if you just understand that this stuff happens, you won't be too frazzled when it does. I mean, you're going to not like that, stuff like this happens. This is for everybody out there who's going to be on a food truck in the future. Stuff happens. And if you expect it and know that you just have to figure it out from there, I mean, getting angry about it is not going to help. And
you cannot get angry. All you can do is say, okay, what's my backup plan? If this fails, what am I going to do? And you think of something and you get it done. And that's what you have to do. I was just considering on 3 separate occasions today just making my own different product that could work. You just do what you have to, and you get it done, and you don't get frazzled. You just handle it.
That's how you do it.
So you have to have patience. You have to have that level of Zen within you to handle things like that.
No, I couldn't have said it any better, Gina. Thank you. Catering. A lot of food truckers who are getting into this industry think of just their business as, selling food on the side of the street, and it's much more than that. Do you do catering, or, you said you do this county fair? How big are those in terms of your overall business plan?
We do a lot of catering, and we cater, we've done 650 people. We do corporate events, things like that. It's a different ball game. You have to you have to reach certain clientele. whether you want the corporate clientele that are ritzy or if you want the family reunions. What are you going after? Are you going after weddings? Are you going for high class? Are you going for mediocre? Are you just going for intimate settings where someone can propose to their wife? Or what exactly are you trying to get after? And then you have to advertise that and throw it out there and make a beautiful product.
Mm-hmm. If I were to say what were the one or two things that a food trucker could do to get started with catering, what would they be? Not obviously, putting it on their website and advertising that they do that, but how does one actually get a client to, a potential client to say yes?
Well, getting a client to say yes is a whole other ballgame as well. You want to have pretty pictures. You want to have a great personality that you can go and speak with them. If you can't do it, then send someone who can. Send someone who can do that sales part for you.
Mm-hmm.
To get catering, you need to make a lot of phone calls. You need to talk to a lot of wedding planners, event planners. There's also corporate lists that you can get. You have to order them or purchase them. Those lists can be just for your area, for corporations, for Christmas parties and the like, or they can be in a 5-state area. So you really want to know what you're going to do with your business, if that's strictly what you really want to do, or how much energy you want to put into the catering. The good part about catering is usually you can give them a number per head, and you know exactly how many people you're serving. So you aren't going to have problems with waste,
mm-hmm.
and you know exactly what to order, you know who's going to be there, and you get paid whether they eat or not. That's the beauty of the catering.
Yeah, that sounds great, actually. And then you said you did one with 650 people. Like, when you're preparing for something like that, it's obviously different than preparing for a normal day. Do you kind of have to recalculate everything in terms of supply and ingredients and all that stuff?
Absolutely. You have to figure out what your portion size is and do a lot of math.
Mm-hmm.
Figure it out, and then you want to know where you can buy your bulk product. For most people starting out on food trucks think that they can just go to Walmart or Sam's Clubs or Costco and pick up their product. And a lot of times that's an inferior product in my mind, and I won't serve things like that to people. So I have to hunt for my product. I have to create it. I have to test it and make sure that it's something that I would eat and that people would find pretty and beautiful and tasty.
Mm-hmm.
So, and if I don't think it's of quality, then I won't serve it.
Yeah, the quality is huge, and people, they're obviously eating the food, but they'll remember what it tastes like for sure.
They will remember, and they're going to remember if it was horrible. And not everybody likes everything,
mm-hmm.
and that's one thing you have to remember. So you have to make it. You have to make it certain options for people, but don't give them too many options.
Right.
You want to be able to take those onions and green peppers out if people don't like them. I usually make for meatballs or whatever. I figure about 10% are my vegetarians. So you have to pencil that in there for your vegetarians and your gluten-free people. They're another 2% these days.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of math to it. There's a lot of planning. But serving that many people really isn't the problem. That's the fun part. That's when you see your whole plan fall together.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome, Lori. I think everybody should have catering in their repertoire or arsenal, I guess. And for that, not only for that guaranteed income, but you're going to be serving that many people that day, which is great. Now, to finish up here, we're coming in on the 20-minute mark, and again, this has just been great information, a little sort of over-the-shoulder insight look at what your life is like as a food truck owner, and thank you again for taking the time. The last question I have for you is, do you have any words of inspiration for everybody out there who is starting a food truck, if they are struggling or if they are just really excited even? What words of encouragement can you, as somebody who is in this industry, give somebody who's coming into it?
if you're someone who's just coming into it, and that's what you really, really want to do, look to yourself truthfully and say, can I handle this? Is my mate on board with this? Are my friends on board with this? Do I truly believe in myself? And do I have the time? Because it's a dedication. It's like having a new baby. That's only more expensive. And you have to take that and run with it. And if that's what you really want to do and you can handle it, the daily challenges, then don't give up. Don't give up. Keep trying. Keep doing what you can do to make it happen. And believe in yourself. If you're struggling with a food truck right now, and I realize that like the first year of food trucks are the most desperate, don't give up. See what you can do. Look towards the future. Look at what is up and coming. Find something that is different. For Pete's sake, don't serve the same thing that everybody else is serving. Mm-hmm. Find something different. Find something fun. Keep it simple. Stop complicating things. Keep it simple and revamp yourself and just keep going. Try not to borrow any more money for whatever you're doing. Just try and see what you can work with and make it go. Keep the gerbil on the wheel, so to speak, Pat.
Keep the gerbil on the wheel. Absolutely. You got to keep going. If this is your dream, if this is your passion, don't let anything stop you. Don't let anybody tell you not to do it. And just keep busting through those barriers that are going to meet you, because there's awesome stuff on the other end. Gina, thank you so much. Yep. Everybody, you got to go to facebook.com/gogetthescoop or twitter.com/gogetthescoop. And, if you're in South Dakota, Rochford, South Dakota, go find the truck, Get to Scoop. You'll see other locations where they're at on those social media accounts. And again, all the links will be on the show notes as well. Gina, thank you again so much for your time today. We really appreciate it. Thank you all. Thank you for the words of encouragement and just the great advice.
Thank you so much, Pat. I really appreciate it, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day.
All right, you too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, I hope you enjoyed that interview with Gina from Get the Scoop. Again, she has a truck in Rochford, South Dakota, so if you're ever in the South Dakota area, you got to check her out. You can find her at facebook.com/gogetthescoop, and also the same handle on Twitter, twitter.com/gogetthescoop. Gina, thank you so much for your time and all the education for all of us out there. And I hope you enjoyed the show, everybody. If you want to get the show notes for this episode and get direct links to Gina's stuff, plus everything else we mentioned, you can head on over to foodtruckr.com/19. That'll take you directly back to the blog, and you can sign up to the email list. You can get our brand new book. Get them while they're hot. You can go to foodtruckr.com/book and check that out as well. It's called How to Start a Food Truck, The Definitive Guide. A ton of great information in there from a lot of months of research. Yeah, thank you so much for listening to the show. Reviews, subscribes, and ratings in iTunes are extremely helpful. And the best thing that you could do to help us is just to rock it out there on the streets. Sell more food, make people happy, just like Gina was talking about, and see those smiles and appreciate it, because that's why we do what we do. I hope that's why we do what we do. Cheers, take care, and we'll see you in the next episode.